The Business Journal Roundtable Series is sponsored by Advanced Technology Partners.
I think something else that's important to point out, Katie, I think, mentioned the Mahoning River corridor revitalization strategy, which were these action plans individualized for each community. Um, MS did the technical report creation for that, but all of the information in there came from those individual communities. So this recreation that's occurring, some of the early development that we're starting to see is of the community's own design. It's not somebody from above pointing to a community and saying, these are the things you should do. These were the priorities and the goals that the communities themselves had set up. Um, I know from Eastgate's perspective, we're here to help facilitate those. We don't ever want to be the one that tells a community exactly what to do. We just want to help them get to that end goal to realize kind of the priorities that they've set for themselves.
So with all the turmoil right now with funding in the federal government, how does that impact this?
All of the dam projects to this point have been state funded, so none of the federal impacts have directly impacted a dam. The only one small little piece is that we're currently working in partnership with Ohio EPA and the Army Corps of Engineers on the Girard Dam feasibility study. That feasibility study is being facilitated through the Army Corps' programming, utilizing some funds that originated through the bipartisan infrastructure law. There was an early executive order that had put a pause on projects related to those funding sources, but that has since been rolled back. But that's been the only disruption so far on any of the river projects.
You mentioned the Girard Dam again, and I wanted to ask, you said that industry is using that dam. Who is using it and how are they using it?
So it was formerly McDonald Steel, which has recently kind of closed operations and sold that property to an intermediate owner. We're working with that owner to identify what the future use will be. And they've indicated to us that the client that they're in negotiations with has a need for water use. They've not indicated who or for what kind of market sector that end user would occupy, but they would have some use for water intake from the Mahoning River.
And that's it, the McDonald site, that's it? What about further down Valoric and all of that?
The only other dam that has industrial uses is the Warren Main Street Dam, which is at the Cleveland Cliffs plant, as well as the former BDM site. Is the end user official for that one? Is that okay? The Kimberly-Clark will be the occupant of that site. On both sides of the river, there is utilization of the water. On the Kimberly-Clark side, we've reviewed, or their team has reviewed the HECRAS water monitoring for kind of depth after the dam removal itself, and has found that the water level will be sufficient for their intake needs. Working with Cleveland Cliffs, there were some modifications required for their water intake facility on the river. So we worked with the state to acquire some funding to make sure that those upgrades and improvements can be made to their intake facility and won't disrupt their operations or provide any hardship for their business operations.
The Business Journal Roundtable Series is sponsored by Advanced Technology Partners.